Mr. Speaker, sir, every budget reflects the values and priorities of a government. This budget shows a commitment of careful financial management while ensuring that no community is left behind. It also recognizes the lasting national development begins with strong families, strong villages, and empowered resource owners. Mr. Speaker, sir, the theme of this year's budget, a responsible budget for a sustainable future, reflects the conditions under which this budget was prepared. A difficult global and national financial environment marked with a slower growth, pressure on government revenues, and change in global fuel prices. It is a budget that has had to balance carefully spending with delivery. And I commend the Ministry of Finance for the sound judgment this required. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a responsible and realistic budget that protects essential services, supports economic growth, and maintains the government commitment to careful financial management. The 2026-27 budget provides a total expenditure of approximately $4.87 billion, while continuing to invest in national infrastructure, productive sectors, and essential public services. At the same time, government remains committed to supporting private sector growth, encouraging investment, and removing unnecessary barriers to doing business. Mr. Speaker, sir, we also recognize the financial challenge before us. Estimated revenue for 2026-2027 budget is $3.82 billion, with a projected deficit of approximately $1 billion. These are significant challenges, but they also show the importance of careful delivery, sound financial management, and ensuring that every public dollar delivers clear value for the people of Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, our vision is clear: to build stronger villages, stronger provincial institutions, productive landowners, and confident young people who can succeed in Fiji's modern economy while preserving our identity and culture. Rather than cover every part of the budget, I wish to highlight several major national allocations that will bring direct and lasting benefits to iTaukei families, villages, and provincial communities. To strengthen healthcare services, facilities, and medical infrastructure, government has allocated $477 million to the Ministry of Health. This investment will improve access to quality health care for our rural, maritime, and provincial communities. To expand support for learners and young people, the Ministry of Education has been allocated $708.3 million, including funding for free education, transport assistance, back-to-school assistance, and higher education institutions. This investment will expand education opportunities and support our ministry's own investment in technical and vocational training through CATD Nadawe. To improve roads and access in rural areas, approximately $370 million has been allocated to the Fiji Road Authority for roads maintenance, bridge replacement, and rural roads upgrades. Better transport infrastructure improves access to markets, schools, health service, and economic opportunities for our communities. To improve water supply, treatment and wastewater services, the Water Authority of Fiji has been allocated $291 million. Reliable water and sanitation are essential for healthier, safer, and stronger communities. To continue supporting vulnerable families, older persons, children, and persons with disability, the Ministry of Women, Children, and Social Protection has been allocated $211 million. This investment shows government's commitment to protecting those most in need. Mr. Speaker, sir, in agriculture and natural resources, I also acknowledge the continued investment in agriculture, forestry, fisheries, rural development, and waterways. These sectors remain the backbone of many iTaukei livelihoods, supporting food security, jobs, responsible management of resources, and economic growth for our resource-owning communities. Mr. Speaker, sir, over the past 4 years, the Ministry has moved from restoration to transformation. The Great Council of Chiefs was restored, the Valinimbose was rebuilt and reopened, and the consultations were conducted across all 14 provinces and Rotuma. Traditional governance was strengthened through chiefly titled confirmations, provincial and Tikina meetings, leadership training, and review of the wider iTaukei administrations. Integrated village development plans were completed for all the 1,173 villages, while 190 villages projects worth more than 4.2 million improved sanitation, community infrastructure, and village development. The iTaukei Affairs Board also supported 24 businesses, secure market access for 7 businesses, and delivering 108 financial literacy and business guidance sessions across 30 communities. Economic empowerment was strengthened through the iTaukei Wealth Fund, resource owners development projects, and interest support that helped unlock $25.7 million in approved lending. Tangele Maroroi Holdings was launched to increase landowners' participation in commercial development, while the iTaukei Plaza 1, Dua, iTaukei Plaza Rua, and FHL Tower demonstrate the growing strength of indigenous investment. The TLTB Education Scholarship Framework was also rolled out, creating new education and skill pathways for iTaukei students. Cabinet also approved the pathway for CITD Nandave to develop as a business support center for resource owners' businesses, linking technical training with business development. Mr. Speaker, sir, the iTaukei Land and Fisheries Commission digitized 164 VKB records while expanding land survey, village mapping, boundary marking, and ownership confirmation. The LTB approved 2,834 new leases, covering 14,919 hectares, generating 1.95 million in annual rent incomes and 49.1 million in lease premium, while reducing lease areas to 30%. CITD Nandave expanded technical training, completed a new classroom block and dormitories for approximately 80 students, introduced additional trade programs, and in 2024-2025 recorded 194 graduates to a reported 90% graduate employment rates. Environment protection was also strengthened through the confirmation of 118 traditional tambu sites, covering approximately 209 square kilometers of community-managed marine areas. On indigenous rights, consultation on UN RIP were completed, endorsed by the GCC and the iTaukei Affairs Board, and include in the Draft Rights of Indigenous Peoples Bill, which has progressed to parliamentary consultation. The Ministry also progressed the Traditional Knowledge and Cultural Expression Bill, the review of iTaukei administration, the GCC, TLFC, and TLTB legislation. The Ministry also extends its service to Fijian living overseas, directly assisting more than 1,500 Fijians in the United Kingdom with BKB, land services, investment, and cultural services. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a record of institutions restored, indigenous rights advanced, villages strengthened, customary records protected, landowners empowerment, young people trained, and Fiji's cultural heritage protected. Much remains to be done. However, the foundation is stronger, the direction is clearer, and the iTaukei voice has been firmly returned to the center of national development. Mr. Speaker, sir, having outlined the wider national investment that benefits our people, as well as the Ministry records of delivery over the past 4 years, I now return to the program funding and grants that will continue this work in the 2026-2027 budget. The Ministry has been allocated 33.1 million. This allocation will strengthen the provincial administration, village and traditional governance, resource owners development, technical training, village infrastructure, institutional reform, national initiatives that protect iTaukei identity, and advance active participation in Fiji's development. Mr. Speaker, sir, I will now explain how these major programs and grants will support the work of the Ministry and its institutions. To support the work of the Provincial Council, the 14 provincial councils receives a total grant of 7.1 million. The Provincial Council remains the main link between government, traditional leaders, and communities across Fiji. This grant will support provincial administration, the planning and delivery of development priorities, stronger reporting and accountability, and closer link between villages, Tikina, provincial, and the national planning. To carry out its national governance, coordinations, and service responsibility, the iTaukei Affairs Board will receive a grant of 3.2 million. The board will continue to support the provincial councils, oversee the delivery of village and provincial development plans, strengthen economic and community programs, and coordinate conservation, urban outreach, and other initiatives affecting the iTaukei community. Mr. Speaker, sir, to support the service of our traditional and community leaders, a total of 4.2 million is provided. This includes 2.8 million for Turanganikoro, 585,000 for Matani Tikina, and 0.8 million under the Vanua Leadership Allowance. Every day, these leaders carry responsibilities for the community administration, social order, public health, and disaster communications, village development, cultural protocol, and coordinations of government programs. Mr. Speaker, sir, to support the iTaukei resource owners, the budget provides 3.8 million for the iTaukei Resource Owners Support and Development Fund, make it one of the ministry's main economic support programs. Under this arrangement, government pays the interest cost on approved loans for the first 3 years. This reduced the initial payment burden while approved resource owners projects are established. The fund will assist land-owning units and provincial holding companies to prepare and progress sound, workable projects that makes better economic use of its iTaukei land and natural resources. Support may include land subdivisions, commercial and tourism development, agriculture, agribusiness, forestry and fisheries-related business, and the professional and technical work needed to make projects ready for financing and are able to last. Mr. Speaker, sir, CITD Nandawe, the budget provides an operating grant of 920,000 and a capital grant of 2 million, giving a combined allocation of 2.9 million. The capital grant will support the expansion of Nandawe campus and additional classroom, workshop, dormitories, and related facilities. The wider grant will support practical, technical, and vocational training, apprenticeship, employment pathways, business development, and CITD's growing role as a business support center for resource owners' businesses. Mr. Speaker, sir, at the village level, the Village Improvement Scheme has been allocated 1.3 million to continue practical investment in village infrastructure and community facilities. The program will support sanitation, water supply improvement, footpaths, drainage, solar lightings, community facilities, village beautifications, and other small projects that improve health, safety, and resilience. Mr. Speaker, sir, the allocations are not simply standalone figures, they are next stage of the 4 years delivery records outlined earlier in this speech. Together, the provincial councils and the iTaukei Affairs Board grant will help turn village and provincial plans into action. The Leadership Allowance will support the local leadership network that connects government with the Vanua. The Resource Owners Forum will build on the funding model that helps unlock 25.7 million in approved lending, while CITD grant package will build on expanding facilities, new trade program, and strong graduate results. In the same way, the Village Improvement Scheme will continue the direct investment that has already delivered projects across our community. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have recognized the important roles of Fijian Holdings Limited, TLTB, our provincial councils, TTFB, other institutions, investors in supporting well-planned indigenous businesses, projects in the years ahead. Mr. Speaker, I wish to acknowledge the Permanent Secretary and all staffs of the Ministry, the Chairperson, members and Secretariat of the Great Council of Chiefs, the boards, leadership teams, management and staff of the following institutions: iTaukei Trust Fund Board, iTaukei Land Fisheries Commission, Center of Appropriate Technology and Development, iTaukei Land Trust Board, Fijian Holdings Limited, and our provincial councils. I also acknowledge our Turanganikoro, Matanitikina, and Turanganiabusa, together with our land-owning units, community representative, women's and youth groups, and our valued development partners. The successful delivery of the budget depends on officers and community leaders serving throughout the province, maritime areas, remote communities. Mr. Speaker, this budget recognizes that the strength of the iTaukei people rests not only in land and institutions inherited from our ancestors, but also in our ability to use this foundation wisely to create opportunities for future generations. By strengthening traditional institutions, making productive use of our resources, investing in our young people, and continuing to improve our villages, we seek to build communities that remain firmly rooted in their identity, they're participating confidently in Fiji's modern economy. Government remains committed to advancement of indigenous people with a united and prosperous Fiji. Our ancestors entrust us with our land, our culture, and our institutions. It is now our responsibility to ensure that these foundations create opportunities rather than become obstacles to progress. This budget allows us to honor the responsibility. It invests not only in programs and projects, but in the future of our iTaukei people and in the future of our beloved Fiji. With those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I fully support the 2026-2027 budget.
Thank the Honourable Ifereimi Vasu, the Minister for iTaukei Affairs, for his contribution to the debate.